Oh, first hand back after the break. Wake up with ace queen. Probably going to take the small blind in there if he... Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, probably take either player in if they 3-bet us. But it would have been a pretty strong looking 3-bet, considering they commit to the shot stack by making a 3-bet there. I kind of want to jam here, but it is the bubble, so I think I'm just going to do the civilized thing and fold. But if we know this guy's capable of you know, messing around in the bubble and stealing, I think it's definitely okay to jam. See if we can get a 3-bet here. This guy doesn't defend. Doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Just doesn't defend a ton. 3-bet. He has been 3-betting from the blinds a little bit, so I think I'm just going to check here. There's a little bit of a I wouldn't say sneaky, but controversial play, because it does leave us exposed to him barreling when he may have just folded flop. Wow. I think I will raise here. Kind of weak there a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's very close. We could even check raise small, shove rivers and so forth, but I don't think he's folding a queen at that point. We could probably get him off worse than a queen. I do think he's going to value bet a queen turn if he's hit it. I think this is 3-betting enough for us to take this here and just not fold. 4-handed ace jack. 28,998. It'd be pretty sick if we've somehow run into a ace queen, ace king here, or queens or whatever. From an ICM perspective, it's a little bit of a sick call, but I mean, we could have flatted in position, but I just think that it's yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's too bad. I mean, ICM wise, it's pretty crazy. Not crazy, but the thing is, there's one thing to be careful with ICM, but there's another thing to just kind of not give up, but just play purely to move up in the money and just not at all for the win is just inviting trouble, if you ask me. It's just kind of it's not winning poker. And so had he jammed there, we were the 2 biggest stacks. We had a huge bubble factor. Yeah, it's controversial. It's ICM says it's a fold, I would say, but ace king and probably 10s up or something we can call. But I just think that he's going to be folding a lot when we 4-bet, and he's going to be jamming sometimes like 7s and maybe even like ace 5 suited, where he just thinks, you know, he just spazzes out. So if you were to account for that sort of range, then maybe the ICM would change a bit. So the ace king before, you know, I wish I had just, if I had a bet flop, then I would have barreled turn. Probably have jammed river. Because it's pretty unlikely he backed into a queen if he calls flop. It's pretty unlikely. I mean, we still could very easily have had the best hand, and I'm still not that sure about it. I was thinking about hero calling. Definitely on my mind was the hero. Because, you know, if he's bet flop, what's he betting turn again with? You know, if he's got a 6 or 7s or a 10, something like that, then he shouldn't really be firing again, you know. He should be slowing down. We could have ace-queen, king-queen. We could be trapping. You know, I'm probably going to check sets there. 7, 14, 21. I think it's going to be close. You might have jack 9 or something here. It'd be pretty annoying. I think I will take that one. So he goes ahead and fires the river on us. Does he have the old king 9? Does he have the old 7-8 suited? I think I'm going to give it up. Hasn't been defending that much. And this is part of the reason why I backed down with the ace-king before. It's because he hasn't been defending that much. Bottom left are in the money, by the way. Easy jam here. This guy is also asking about seeing numbers. So, I mean, that's kind of a good sign that maybe he's, you know, smaller stakes player. 3, 4. I think I'm just going to call here. And I'm probably going to have to fold there. And that's unfortunate the king 10 didn't get there, because that would have been a good pot and another final table coming up. It's a nightly 40 grand now, bottom left. I think if this was a king 6 of spades, I'd probably go with a check raise or a call. Potentially. It would have been nice to have some backdoor equity. I think just trying to hang on in that spot without you know, out of position, I think is just going to be bad. Had a few hands hold up the last couple of levels, couple of hours. Kind of looks a bit 3-bettish again, doesn't it? We get pretty good leverage if we raise here this amount. I will go for it. It's obviously very borderline, but it does put him in a jam or fold situation. You can't really click it back and make it 38. It does look... He might level himself here and think, well, is Acesup really going to 4-bet me again? He just did before. He must have a hand this time. Or he might go a different level and think, well, Acesup is going to think I put him on a hand because he 4-bet me again before. And it looks like it was the latter. But I don't mind the play because it seems like he's 3-betting a decent frequency, and we just need to try and wake up with a hand soon. Because I think our image is quite good for getting paid off. Got a pretty good stack still. It's annoying to lose that one. I probably could have made it slightly smaller, because he's obviously pretty polarized with his 3-bets there. I mean, he's either getting it in or he's not. There's not much else that's happening. Very unlikely calls, but not impossible, I guess. So I think it's important if we raise there from small blind to 3-bet again, to be honest. Even though we got that sort of marginal hand, I I think it's good to just keep, you know, just keep 3 and 4 betting. But having said that, we haven't opened for a couple of hands now, so. I think the 3 and 4 betting has kind of slowed people down a bit. It's folded around to the big blind a few times. Everyone's scared of being 3-bet. But we've just been dealt trash. They prefer to have a little something to play with. I would like to have had a little hand here. Ace 10 again, 3-bet this guy, but I think I'm just going to have that one. I don't want him to think, yeah, you can start opening and stealing the blinds. I'm just going to fold, sort of thing. This is pretty gross that we're being dealt such trash. Wow. I mean, my requirements for opening are pretty low, but we just can't even get a semi-decent hand here. That was, I mean, 3-5, 3-9 suited last 2 hands ago. That was close. Yeah, but so this guy has decided to get it in here, and he hasn't snapped, so it looks like a fold coming. It's usually either a snap or a fold, because he should have planned ahead and anticipate, if he 3-bets and gets 4-bet, what he's going to do. But we did see him 3-betting and folding again, so makes me feel a little bit better about our hand before. But then he may get a little bit wide with it. You know, he just, if he thinks we're up to something, you know, he might I think I might just flat this one and mix it up a bit. Good thing we did. I think with the image that we have now, well, is he likely to barrel? Yeah, I think I just, well, he probably is going to barrel. In position, I definitely just called, but I think I'm actually going to check raise. I think he's got a jack or any pair. He's going to stick one. He may even re-click the flop sometimes. He's in a pretty tough spot if he's got like a jack queen. If he's got an overpair, he might even just shove it in now. He could have 9-10 as well, stuff like that. He could have 10 queen and float one, thinking we're full of it on the flop. Kind of feels like he's got like a 10 jack or... I've tried to set it up so the SPR is good river. If we're really lucky, he's got ace jack or just queens and he's not folding, or, you know, 8-9 or something. But I do think he can find a fold a lot of the time now. He might actually have 10 jack and find a fold. Still though, I mean, we've been so aggressive. It's got to be going through his mind. Are we just barreling off here with 10 queen, 9-10, ace high? Because we're repping pretty thin. You know, we're repping just an 8 and only an 8. And given the fact that we've been 3 and 4 betting, I mean, that 4-bet before might actually pay us dividends. You know, that 4-bet, he folded and then 4-bet again and then fold when he 5-bet. He may just decide that we're just too sick and we're just too aggressive, and that top pair just can't be folded in this spot. And time will tell. Yeah, he has aces, so lucky we didn't 3-bet pre. I think it's a little bit hard for him to fold aces there. Certainly thought about it, obviously, but I think it's a little bit tough for him to fold the aces there. He's probably kicking himself, but I just think that given the aggression, and that's one of the things about when you get aggressive, you know, is that, I mean, that's a hard fold in any time, but when you're against a guy who's been 4-betting you, and then, yeah, I mean, just hard. It's just a tough spot. Maybe just call down bottom right there. And sorry guys, I'll get rid of that one. I'm getting a little bit tired here. And 3, 4, 5. I think I will fold that. Bring in this one here. Three, 4, 5. Call this one if he jams. No. So the other guy, Q Strawed guy, is kind of going to be in a pretty disgusting spot now, where he, you know, it's almost. I mean, it's obviously good to win the hand, but you know, I mean, it's almost like nice to have the shot stack in, just because. Because we can lean on this guy until the shot stack busts, because it was a 550 pay jump, so I mean, just really want to take it slow this heads up, because I think the last heads up game I played, it's just I was playing too fast. This guy said he had aces before when the board was King King 7. I heard from earlier when I had I have that hand. I think I had a full house or trips or something. So he was able to fold it. So King 5 here is pretty close. I think I am actually going to raise it and maintain the aggression. And I'm partly going to do that just because of his stack size, I think, here. I just don't really want to get too complacent here and just wow, he just shoves. If he had have re-clicked it there to like 25, I would have been pretty tempted to jam. So now I wish I had have called. You can certainly do either. I mean, calling is completely fine. He's not defending that much so far, which is kind of surprising. This is interesting with these mediocre hands. I mean, I don't actually mind 3-betting, merging, playing a very depolarized range, and actually 3-betting with these hands as well. The problem is they lose all their value if you get 4-bet like we did before. But at the same time, you know, he might call with some hands that we do well against, because he's going to jam ace Queen and Ace Jack. Probably is going to 4-bet or jam it. So there's very few hands that he can have that that dominate us if he doesn't jam. At the same time here, you know, he might be betting here with like 6-9 suited, and we're folding. So yeah, I mean, I think I might play those hands given the aggression that we've shown so far. I think I'm just going to merge them. I think I will bet here. It's kind of close. There's some ace X's and small pairs we might fold out. He might have a 5-6 suited. We're ahead of those hands anyway, but I think just checking, he might feel he can bet them. And we can't call turn bets unless we get a king, queen, or 8. So, having said that, it was obviously a pretty bad board, and he hasn't been defending that much, so it was borderline. But the c-bet didn't have to work, obviously, very often. These are the hands I think we can really cash in on if we can actually get him to call in that spot and flop top pair with hands that we can have dominated. But so I think I will go ahead and raise this one. This is kind of what I was saying about the merged range. Oh my god, he's jammed us again. It's so annoying. But at the same time, you know, he could have had a hand that had a crush like ace 9 or something. 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting that he's actually jamming at this depth, because it's kind of deep, you know. But maybe he's had like pocket 4s before, and now he's got the same sort of hand. Kind of makes me want to call, but he might have ace 9 or something like that as well. King, queen. His strategy does seem to be though, to be welcoming big pots. Pretty good flop top middle, so barring someone having a 10. Flop obviously 2 overs with a nut flush draw. Backdoor straight. I think I'm going to get quite small here. Very polarized sort of bet. Don't think we need to bet too big there. Seems to not be giving us too much resistance in those spots. Now, he has been 4-betting 4, 5, 6, 7. Just a little bit too much, so I am just going to call here, I think. Oh, he did run into the ace 10. And we couldn't get there. It's kind of annoying. So c-betting percentage is quite high. So I think we get 2 streets here, because I think he's going to call with a queen and at least 1 street with a jack. Pretty unlucky if he's flopped ace 10, 9, 10, especially since we have a 10. And in any case, I don't think he's going to just snap check it. So he'd actually just given up. I was hoping he had a hand like queen 8 and he was just opting to control it. So I think given how often he's folding, we can actually raise 100% of buttons. Now, having said that, he's going to 3-bet us. No, he does. He does defend. So I've been c-betting a lot. I think I may actually give up on this one now. I'm hoping my timing is impeccable, and he actually did have a hand this time. I think, well, it's kind of close now. I think we can actually fire a bet here and try and fold out ace X and some small pairs. I think he's normally going to bet, I think, on that turn. If he's got top pair or a king or even a draw. I really want to 3-bet here, but he's just jamming so often when we 3-bet. I think we probably just ran into hands, but again, I will continue to open until he shows some resistance 3-betting. But 3-5 is probably a hand I'm going to open anyway. But if he does start 3-betting, I will, depending on game flow, I will have some folding hands in my range. So I'm going to try again here. I'm going to try and sneak one through. I tried to change my raise sizing. Make it smaller. And he still jams. Just can't get a can't get a 3-bet past this guy. This is killing me here. Every time, have we really run into hands, or is it just like King 8 crazy full bet jamming? So annoying. Cannot get one through him. 3 3-bets and 3 4-bets we've been dealt. Every time we just 4-bet us. And it's really annoying, because like, why can't we just have a hand one of those times? Why can't we have ace 10 or, you know... nines or something. But we've been doing pretty well. I mean, we actually had trash mostly and still been, you know, in control for the most part. So I did check back flop here again, and I think even with the up and down, it's one of those boards where you can actually raise and shove river. It's very hard for him to call. And he could have a lot of missed draws. But we can have ace king. He can't. But he could have 2 pairs and just call or shove. If he doesn't shove turn though, if we raise, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a thin line, but so I'm just thinking, if we raise and he shoves here, are we really gonna call? It's so sick. Every time we 4-bet, he's shoved. I think I'm going to try it again. Are we going to try it again? It'd be so sick if he wakes up with a hand now, like ace 10, and just has us crushed. It'd be just too sick. So he's just called, which is kind of bad news, because I think that's sort of a board that he will like. Just trying to think here. I don't really like this bet size, but I think I have to. The reason why I don't like that bet size is because King, Jack, King, Queen, probably going to call. Is because of this. If we get the club. And now if we bet again. Wow, just thinking what we can do here. I almost checked, went for a check jam. But I think it's better just to bet it. Last minute, lucky I got that one out. Because if he checks back a hand like 9-10 suited, I mean, we might get 9-10 suited to fold there. If he's got a king, he's not folding, but he also might have raised a king on the flop. He could have jack queen as well, which obviously we don't mind getting in against, but... Okay, come on. Oh my lord, he folds. He folds. So every time we've 3-bet, he's either 4-bet or called. We get ace jack and he snap folds. This guy can see our cards. So again, I guess I'm going to make this small polarizing bet that seems to be working. I keep trying to bet under the minimum. That's how small I've been trying to bet here. He might not keep working. He might try something soon. But I don't really think I'm going to 4-bet, to be honest. 3-bet. If he did 2-bet the flop there. I just feel like it's not quite necessary. He's probably got like an 8-10 suited, or maybe just ace high and called, ace 7, called the flop. Maybe queen high. So he's going to check the replay now and look and probably see, okay, you see bet small with, what do we have? 6 high? I don't know. He's folding buttons though. He's still folding enough when we're raising from the button here. So we're not too perturbed by, I mean, we're not too worried by his his frequencies at the moment. He's folding a decent amount to our... I think we can actually check call here. Pretty hard for him to fire 2 streets. We might try and get some thin value here from ace high. Or we might be chopping with a queen. It's kind of a bit sick if he's raises river there, but we've worked him down pretty nicely. His stack here. So I think I will just check again on this board here. Well, yeah, I think I will. But we just got to be careful we don't make his life too easy post flop. Well, he does fire once we check fires. So queen high might actually be good here if we're lucky. But I think he's going to have a king high, king 7 a lot. If we're lucky, he's going to have like a 5-6. I guess he could have any pair now would probably value. I don't think ace high is going to value, but he might. But he doesn't seem like that sort of guy. I think I'm going to just fold, but we could have the best hand some of the time. It's kind of weird the way this guy's played. I mean, he's folded to a fair few of our raises, and he's been folding a fair bit in general, but every time we've 3-bet him, he's 4-bet. So you have to wonder, did we just run into hands? Did we just run into hands all those times? I do like the game flow at the moment, though. I think the way we're playing nice and slow is better than the last heads up game. I was just rushing, and I think made some bad decisions. And I mean, it's just good to control the tempo, really. We'll go ahead and c-bet this one a little bit quicker and a little bit larger, just to try and mix it up a bit. Just in case he's thinks that small stab is always a nothing and gets a bit creative. Those low boards heads up aren't actually too bad to get creative with because of the simple fact that your opponent is just going to have missed so often, more than anything. I mean, it's not normally very credible, but so this would be pretty close if he shoves us there with M7, with M12 and A7, because he's getting about that stack size now, where it's getting down to shove territory. When's the blinds up? 1 minute, so that's going to be ideal. So he's going to be in sort of short mode. Yeah, okay, so they've gone up now. So if the blinds had already gone up, I would just shove there. Could have a 10 of a fair bit here. 8 of spades is the money card. It's a bit annoying if he gets this pot on us. This is a really good card because he's probably got a 10. But I don't think there's too much point to... well, can we get value for bet? I don't think we can. It's a good card. I'm just trying to think if we can value here. I think we can. I think he's got a 10 nearly always here. I mean, I presume he would jam King Jack pre. Wow, he's got the Jack Queen. Okay. Didn't expect that. I'm surprised he didn't jam that pre with his stack depth. It's kind of annoying. So, I'm just wondering when he's going to start his jamming, because He's got a pretty good stack size for it. I think I kind of overestimated this guy. I thought he was playing pretty well in the final table, but heads up doesn't really seem to be his strong suit so far. Touch wood. I mean, he's just not 3-bet. He just hasn't been 3-betting enough, and he hasn't been opening quite enough. And the Jack Queen before. I mean, if he's got Jack Queen there, he needs to just be shoving, not flatting. So I guess we're going to try the old 3-bet again here. See if we can get the old 4-bet. Nope. Hopefully he shoves on us this time. That'd be impeccable timing. So probably can just defend versus this one. I think the best way to play this. I'd hate to check jam and find out he has a 10. That would just be too sick. Because we've played quite well to this point and controlled things, and I just don't want to double him up. But I think checking now is definitely the best play. Wow, bet's kind of big, but we're not quite folding just yet. King Jack, Jack 8, Queen. Yeah, I don't think we can quite call here. It's unfortunate. Don't think he's been crazy enough. I mean, it could be a bluff, but he's been pretty passive so far. It's probably better. Is it better just to jam? I think it's better to raise and call a jam here. Well, are we going to call a jam here? That's so annoying. So annoying because he hasn't been jamming that much, but 6. He hasn't really been jamming that much. Yeah, I guess I'm going to fold actually. My first thought was just, I mean, against aggressive players, it's a pretty easy sort of get in, but this guy just hasn't been jamming enough. It's annoying because, I mean, it's a fist pump first in jam for us. We've actually ended up folding it, but you just got to trust and just hope that he did have A7 and had us in bad shape. Not folding this one though. Wow, okay, so the Ace-3 last hand. Maybe he actually had the old 5-6. And we should have called, but the Ace-10 was a lot clearer. And it's good just to get finally, you know, that sort of situation, because it was a while coming. But I think sorry guys, just a couple of guys I just lied about what I had on that King 7 hand because a friend who was in the chat box asked me, and I just said I had 2-2 as a bluff, even though I had the nuts. But lesson is that don't trust people at the poker table. You know, it's a war out there, and if you're playing a live event and some guy makes a big bet and you end up folding and then you go up to him on the break and say, what'd you have? I think a lot of people that are fairly nice-natured just have a tendency to just think, well, why he's going to lie? Why is he going to lie? The hand's over. But I think you'll be surprised how often poker players are still in game mode, even when they're away from the table, when it's a topic that relates to poker. And if you're not their friend, if you're just some random person to them, they don't care. And I think they will normally lie, to be honest. I think that most people probably would lie in that spot. But I'm a little bit cynical about the world and people in general. So I don't know. You might disagree and think, I'm not talking about a friendly home game, obviously, but, if it's you're playing an APPT and some guy, you don't know him, pulls a bit of a bluff on you, and you think he might have been bluffing. You ask him later, and he's like, "No, man, I had it," or "No, yeah, I was bluffing." It's probably usually going to be the opposite of what he says. I think, in my experience. But it's a good result there. So I feel a certain sense of satisfaction just the way I think that final table went down. I think we made pretty good decisions and controlled things, and I'm happy that I took my time at the end. Because last heads up game, like I was saying, I was just auto mode, snap fold, snap fold, snap call, snap 3-bet, and I think especially when you have the big stack like that, it's good to kind of take your time, because you're kind of the one in control of the game. They're under pressure to get chips, and they're getting frustrated if they can't get them, and you don't mind that. You want to keep them pinned with a short stack, feeling like they're under pressure. And in that instance, I felt a pretty big edge. I don't know if he had deal checked or not. We obviously didn't. And I think the biggest mistakes from that player is just a lack of contesting the pot in general. Just not quite 3-betting enough, not quite opening enough. And flop, we got away with virtually all our C bets. And there were certain board textures, in some cases you could have perhaps, especially after he's folded to a few C-bets, it's more believable than if he does attack. You've got to mix in a little bit of that to keep your opponent on their toes, and I think he was just kind of looking for the wide open opportunity, which he never got, and then did jam the 5-6 suited a little bit too deep for my liking, but then again we are opening 100% of buttons, so it can't be that bad. And as it was when he gets called, his equity is decent, but we just managed to hold. So on that note, guys, planning on the 3 final tables today. I am planning on trying to get one more. I don't know which it'll be, but that's the mission. So who knows? See if we can make it 4 today. So thanks for tuning in. This has been Acesup. Wasn't quite finished, guys. 4th final table. And heads up, as you can see. Just a smallie. $55 6 max. And I think this guy may actually have backed into spades. Diamonds, I should say. Unlikely to have backed into spades. So I think I'm just going to shove. SPR I've set up for a little under 1. Hopefully he doesn't have 9-10. He hit the diamonds, which is what it looked like. So he's won another one as well. So it's a couple of wins, a 3rd, a 6th or 5th. So doing good today. It is the festive season, and I'm feeling festive. Well, still got a few chances going. So who knows? See if we can make it 5 final tables and a 3rd win. The top right is the tourney I've got my eye on, because it's 6.6 for first, and I'm 25 of 226, so doing okay in that one. Yeah, quick update there. Still battling away, and who knows, maybe I'll be back with more action